got to realize that whatever you're doing, you're competing with somebody. What is it that gives you an advantage over your competition? Whatever you're good at, try to be great at it. And if you're great at it, good things will happen.
Maverick Podcast.
I'm far from average. That's why I had to come sit down and chop it up with DJ Maverick. They know my name from coast to coast and even in Dallas. I use my talent when I'm faced with a challenge. Gratitude strength is my magnet. Close your eyes and imagine. If you can see it in your mind, then you can have it.
Maverick Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. This is the Maverick Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Maverick. Today we have another rock star in the building. We have actress, writer, director, and musician, the one and only McKinley Paige Montez. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here.
For the 1% of the people out there that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I love acting and I love writing my own films and directing. Then I'm also currently producing, and I love writing music and singing and playing the guitar. I love film and I love music and I love acting.
That's incredible. You kind of took an untraditional route to get to where you are right now, right? So my understanding, first you were doing some modeling, some photography, stuff like that. Tell me about that.
So it started whenever I was modeling for Kid Fashion magazine, and then I met the photographer and we hit it off.
Okay.
And we started talking about acting somehow, and then she mentioned she knew an acting coach in LA, and that had his own school. So she recommended I go there, and I did. And I attended a goal-setting seminar, and it was amazing. I mean, we really connected right off the bat. And that's how I got into acting more. I started training with him via Zoom. I started doing music, vocal work, sketch comedy, and then on-camera scene study and voiceover, things like that.
Yeah.
So that he molded my love for acting.
Very cool. That's also untraditional too, because doing classes and acting on Zoom, right? It's almost like you're just talking to yourself. Right?
Yeah, he's from LA, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was it natural for you to pretend hey, I have an audience, people are here with me, or were you this is kind of weird, I'm just talking to myself here?
At the start, it was definitely kind of difficult because, starting anything new is totally wild, and you never know if you're going to be good at it.
Yeah.
But acting, I've always loved acting, so I think I could look past being on Zoom, and yeah.
Got it. What do you think? Why did you gravitate towards acting in the first place?
Just from a young age, I've always loved entertaining, and I have 3 older siblings, so I would kind of do silly things to get their attention,
Oh, really?
acting, and I would write my own plays and stuff, so I would perform them for them. So I've just always been creative.
Got it. Do you remember your first role when you're okay, I'm going to act for the very first time? Walk me through that. What was that like?
It was just this crazy feeling. I mean, taking on something new and not being sure if you're going to be good at it.
Yeah.
And
you already had some Zoom classes under your belt?
I already had that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just I'd never done in-person acting, so being on set was just this different thing.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what to expect.
Ton of people, lights, everything, right?
Everyone's doing 10,000 things. So it was just very overwhelming. But I got used to it, and then now I love set. It's like a second home.
Yeah. With the intro, I know we mentioned a lot of arts, a lot of creativity, but what came first? Was it the modeling? Was it the music? What came first?
It was the acting, and then it was modeling, but I kind of fell into modeling more than acting.
Okay.
And then whenever I started training via Zoom, acting just kind of became my little heart.
Got it. And then the music was also throughout your whole life, music's been a part of it?
Definitely.
Or yeah. What are your influences as far as music?
So I love Lana Del Rey. She's my number one.
Same. She's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So amazing. I love Suki Waterhouse. I really like the way her music sounds, so that's definitely an inspiration. And then Lana for lyrics and music and things like that. And then I also love Stevie Nicks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I really love her. I like Arctic Monkeys, and then The Kills, and then
Monkeys is kind of like a curveball.
It is, but I love the way their guitar sound, and then everything as the way they make everything sound, I don't know how I'm trying to explain it. It's just they do something that is just so inspiring to me.
Yeah. Do you have music that you've already published out there, like people can go check out, or not yet?
No, I've just been kind of writing as much as I can and making as much songs as I can.
Okay.
And learning how to play the guitar too
Yeah.
better. But I'm hoping to record soon. So
Awesome, cool. And then you've got some films, like you've already been part of Cine Latino, right?
yeah.
deadCenter, right? So did Cine Latino come first? Or was
Yes, it
Cine
did.
Latino? Tell me about that. Like, what was the experience like being part of Cine Latino?
It was incredible. I recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that one of my films have been put into production because I wrote it and then I also acted in it. And then I did the special effects makeup too.
way.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. So like hands-on, like
Stuff, yeah.
tell me about the movie, like a brief summary, like what's the movie about?
So a group of friends, they are trying to replace their friend who died. And they go to this Airbnb and they are deciding they're going to initiate a young naive freshman into their group to replace their friend, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of mean, honestly. Yeah. So then a lot of things go wrong and, weekend of fun doesn't go as planned. And it just turns out the worst decision they could have made.
deadCenter, you also had another film there, right? What was your role in that film?
So I wrote and directed that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was so surreal. I mean, deadCenter is just, it's incredible. Like,
Yeah.
the film festival, amazing. I learned so much there.
Lots of recognition. There's definitely a path for like awards and other film festivals through deadCenter, right?
So this story follows Ivy. She's a homeless teen, and she is now in school. And she tries to keep her secret, still a secret from her classmates. And she meets some good friends along the way, and it's just her story.
So you have a role within deadCenter too, right?
So my role is I'm the education and events officer, where I'm going to be traveling to trade shows, and I'm going to be on the news talking about the teen board.
Okay.
And then I'll also be scheduling events for upcoming teen board things. And then, deadCenter is just the biggest film festival in Oklahoma. It's the only Oscar qualifying one.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
very incredible.
So how did that role come about? Just you being involved with the films and then getting to know people, or how did that role come about?
So you submit to deadCenter Teen Board, and then this was the first time they've ever done something like this, like electing roles and things like that. So, yeah, you just sign up, and if you get in, and then they, interview you, and they'll decide which role they think you'll fit best in.
Yeah. What about as far as actors? If I put you on the spot, what are some of the actors or actresses that you look up to?
So I love Meryl Streep. I've
Okay.
never seen her do something the same.
Yeah.
It's incredible the way she forms into her character. And then Robin Williams, gosh, I love his voices.
Yeah.
His improv
Super
skills,
creative, right?
yes, so inspiring.
What's your favorite movie from him?
Ooh, okay. I really like Good Will Hunting. And then also Mrs. Doubtfire, classic.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Yes.
So you've got experience both in front and behind of camera, right? Which one do you enjoy the most?
It's 50-50.
50-50?
Yes,
like
I don't.
truly 50-50?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
I enjoy learning about like different camera shots and things like that. And then I also love being the actor and studying my lines before I go on camera. And
Yeah.
it's just,
Okay.
both of them are my favorite.
And different skill sets, right?
Yes.
So probably director, it's probably more technical, more analyzing, right? And then if you're in front, it's probably more creative. But which one's like more nerve wracking? I don't know. Or is it equal?
It's equal too, but okay. It's equal too, but I think acting's a little easier for me
Okay.
because I've been acting like my whole life, so that just comes more natural.
Yeah.
And directing and producing, it's very difficult for me. But, I'm learning and just growing and continuing to get better is just,
Yeah. How many movies do you have under your belt already?
Ooh, okay. So I have a few short films that I've been in.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what's the count on that.
You've already lost count. That's cool.
Yeah, but 2 films that I've put into production of my own.
Okay.
So, yeah, but just short films here and there.
Walk me through the process when you're thinking about writing a film or directing a film. What's your process like?
Okay, so first, I'm a very vibe person. I have to put on some music before I start writing.
Okay.
So just like some lo-fi beats and
So
stuff
not
like that.
Lana.
No, I can't do words whenever
Okay.
I'm trying to write. I feel like I get into the music's words and then I forget my train of thought.
Start singing or something all of a sudden.
Literally. So I put on some music and then I just kind of decide what I want to write about and what I want to talk about. And then I start writing that, and if it's not working, then I'll try and read something. Because if I'm not writing, I really want to be reading to learn. And then also you have to think about who you want as crew and who you want as actors too. So it's very difficult on that part. Like writing the script, you have a lot of rewrites, but the difficult thing for me is finding people. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Because you probably already have envisioned in your mind the characters and what they should look like, what they should sound like.
And also dates with, like, you never know, like, if this date you want is going to work for everyone. Like, it could work for the sound mixer, but it's not going to work for the director if you're, you know, like, you just have to plan accordingly, and that's really hard.
So typical movie, how many people am I going to need? Is it like 20 people, 50 people? Like, what's been your average number of people?
I definitely like having a bigger crew because it takes a lot less stress off of me, and also with people who are better at things that I'm not quite sure of.
Yeah.
I think like the crew could be like 3 people to like 1,000 people. Like
anywhere in between there.
Yeah, anywhere between there, because you can get your film done with just 3 people. You know, like, it's still gonna look great and turn out great.
And I've seen the trend in photography where it's almost like imperfect is what people are trying to go for. So you see photography that's blurred, that's out of focus, maybe some like, you know, grunge or something. Is that the same thing that's happening with film, or you think it's still film is like more about like more technical, being better with the equipment?
I definitely think there's both sides. Like you can find the grunge and things on this side, and then there's the technical on this side. I think I'm a mixture of both. Okay. So
yeah, because I definitely see now people are like even hand holding cameras where before they would have gimbals and try to be super steady, and now you see a lot of shots that have a lot of movement.
It depends on what the script calls for.
When you're writing your music, how do you go about that?
I love matcha, so I always have to like have like a matcha drink before writing. I love like making my own.
You make your own?
Yeah, I make my own drinks. I know.
Cool.
So I'll always start off with that, and then I'll I'm like a person who'll dress for a part. Like if I'm like doing an audition, I'll kind of get into character by dressing a certain way or styling my hair a certain way.
Okay.
So I always like to put, I have a certain thing where I like to put like a sweater on, and then that like kind of gets me into my writing mode for some reason. I don't know, it works for me.
Okay.
But
does it depend on like what type of song you're writing? Is it like happy versus sad or heartbroken?
And then I'll also listen to other people's songs and look at their lyrics, like Lana Del Rey, if I'm more in the mood for like, you know, a little more drama, a little more sadness or things like that. So yeah, I'll look at what other people are doing, and then I'll kind of see what I'm doing, and I don't know, just like that. Writing comes very easily for me.
Okay.
So
that's good. You mentioned at the top of our conversation that you went to a seminar and you're a big believer of goal setting. So tell me about that, like as far as like putting out your goals out there. It sounds like you're a big believer of like energy, going to the seminar, stuff like that. Tell me about that.
I'm a big believer of manifesting. Every year I make a vision board, and I'll write out my goals, and then I'll search on the web like some pictures based on what my goals are. Like if I have, music down, like make more music, I'll have like an artist I like and put them on my board because I envision myself on my board, you know. So yeah, I'll write out my goals and then I'll put some pictures on the board, and then I'll hang it up on my wall somewhere that I can always see it. So it's always like a reminder of what's to come and what you can do. And as the year goes by, you'll see on your board things that you've accomplished that you
start checking stuff off.
Yes, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So I feel like that it helps me a lot, like getting back in touch with what I want to do.
Do you have a specific number in mind usually? Like I'm going to reach 10 goals or something like that? Because sometimes it could be too many goals, right? So I don't know.
So I have like long-term goals and then I have short-term goals. So like I'll have like 5 long-term goals and then I'll have like 10 short-term goals.
Cool. And all these practices you kind of learn from that seminar that you attended or what? Yeah. And then it sounds like you go back year after year or what?
Yes, I do. I can never get enough of it, honestly.
Okay. And you learn like new ways of setting goals.
I learn
stuff like
something
that.
new every time I go.
Okay, cool. So what are you excited about this upcoming year? You've got some projects in the works, it sounds like, right?
As I mentioned, I'm currently producing on one. We're filming later this month. I'm really excited for that.
Are you allowed to share any details around that or what?
Not really, but it's called Until We Weren't.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then I was in a music video for the Imaginaries band, and their new song is coming out early next year. So I'm super excited to watch that and hear it again. And then I have a few projects that I'm going to be acting in. And I'm currently writing a bunch of scripts of my own and trying to see which ones I want to make come to life first. And I'm looking for crew. So yeah, cool. I'm super excited for that.
Very cool.
It's time again.
I like that. So as far as like genres of movies, what do you enjoy writing the most? Do you find yourself, do you gravitate towards a particular genre, or are you like doing all kinds of movies?
It really depends on how I'm feeling that day, but I do find myself gravitating towards more drama, life problems, real stuff.
Okay.
But I love a good horror too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as far as like the movies that you submitted, they're pretty different, right? Like the one you went to with deadCenter and then OK Cine Latino, they're pretty different, right? So is that just something that happened organically, or you were like, okay, I'm headed to this film festival, I'm going to submit this type of movie?
So it definitely happened organically, but it's also like where are we filming? Which with deadCenter, we had to be filming in a school, so I wrote a script based off of a school setting. So that was very different. Then with OK Cine Latino, I wrote whatever I wanted. And that happened to be a house setting.
Have you co-written some stuff as well?
So I've been newly co-writing. I have my songwriting mentor, Delaney Ramsdell.
Okay, shout out.
Yes, shout out to her. She's
cool.
The best.
Yeah.
And then I've also been writing with Maggie McClure from the Imaginaries band, co-writing on some songs, and that's been really exciting. It's very scary because you never know if you're going to vibe well with the person that you're choosing to co-write with. And it's definitely very new for me. I've never done it before, but this past year I've been doing a lot more co-writing. But I do prefer writing by myself, but I also love some new ideas too from
How
other
did those
people.
relations like blossom? How did you get in touch with them to start co-writing?
So I took a business class with Maggie. She was teaching it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she asked me to be in her music video. So I was like, okay, yay.
Awesome.
And then it kind of just happened from there. I mean, we started talking. And then with Delaney, she's actually one of my sister's friends.
Okay.
But she lives in Nashville, now. And I just hit her up because she's doing everything that I want to do in music.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point, right? So maybe for the viewers out there, if they want to pursue a career, is that like a tip that you would give them, is find somebody that's already doing the thing that you want to do? and see if they're down, right? They may not be, but it's worth a shot, right?
It never hurts to just ask, you know?
Yeah.
You miss out on so many opportunities because you're unsure of yourself. And also just, you can make it happen just by yourself too, but it's always better to have someone, I feel, in my case.
Start looking around social media, like what some of the people that I like that are out there, and then you reached out to them, or how did that happen?
So I definitely follow a lot of people on social media that I want to meet. And then the thing that happens is that I'll be at an event and they'll also be there too. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go stand by them for a second, and then I'm going to introduce myself.
Yeah.
And then it usually goes on from there.
You're not afraid to do that? A lot of people
Oh my
go
gosh.
to places.
Networking used to be the thing that scared me the most, like talking to new people and things like that. But I've definitely got better at it over time. I actually got my first, for OK Seeing Latino, I met one of the co-founders, Victor.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Victor.
Shout out to Victor, he's amazing. He was the first person I tried my networking skills
really?
on. Yeah.
Does he know that or no?
Yes, he does.
He does.
He does now. I told him.
Cool.
Yeah, it worked out. So.
Yeah.
But he was definitely like the best person I could have tried on first. You know.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. You tell me, how did you get over that fear? What did you do to get over that?
Just believing in yourself and just putting yourself out there. And if you get a no, just like another door closes, another one opens.
Yeah. If you imagine a mountain, right, and it's like you have to get over this cringe mountain, right? So before I was like, I don't know if I want to put content out there. I don't know, what are my friends going to say? What are people going to say?
Exactly.
And that prevents you from putting stuff out there. But if you just keep going and get over that cringe mountain and then just get over that fear, you'll realize that people, for one, they're probably not even paying attention. And then after a while, I think the same people that you were worried about, they're going to be like, hey, that's pretty cool that you're doing that. How did you get started, right? But before, it's probably like you're not even on their radar. I don't know. Has that been your experience?
Definitely. The cringe mountain.
Yeah, it's real.
It's stuck with me for years. But I've definitely gotten over it. Now I'm posting what I want to post and not worrying about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Because someone important may see it and they may be like, oh my gosh, like I should maybe talk to them or get in touch with them, you know?
Definitely.
Then that's how you get more opportunities, is if you just get over your fear of yourself and what other people think of you.
Yeah. For an actress or a filmmaker, I think now probably it's almost like your resume's online, right? So you have videos and you have clips and stuff like that. What's the best way to highlight that resume? Is it YouTube? Is it TikTok? Like putting some clips out there? Like what's been sort of your idea behind that?
I definitely think social media is such a blessing to have, and just record, like with music, I'm trying to record myself doing covers and getting over that fear of like, are people going to like my voice?
Yeah.
So I've been posting some music. Just get yourself out there and put yourself out there. And then I'll have IMDb, so then I'll make like a demo reel, which is like footage of films I've been on or like acting class footage. So then I'll put that into like a minute, and then I'll put it on my IMDb, and then I'll like, share a link or give it to casting directors so they can look at my stuff. Yeah. And then also YouTube is a really big part of it too, and TikTok too.
I think it's all changing, right? So walk me through the process, because I'm not familiar, but let's say I want to put in for this role. I want to try to audition. What does that look like? Do you submit your social media? Do you have like a package, a media kit? Like what is it that you submit?
So you'll usually get sides, parts of like a scene from the script, and then you'll tape that because thankfully most of the auditions you get are self-tapes. Okay. Everything's online. You just film it yourself at home or in a studio. Yeah. And you send that to them. And then they'll reach out to you if you're fit for the role. Okay. And then
you only send that video, or do you send like, hey, this is what I've done, this whole package. Like I would be trying to sell like everything.
Yeah.
Like this is my TikTok, here's my YouTube. Like I would be putting everything on there.
So you'll send a slate too, with your name, your height, your age, where you're located, and if you have any representation.
Okay.
So that's kind of like the traditional form of doing it.
Yeah.
So you'll send that, and then I think just have links on your social media to your YouTube and your TikTok, and just keep creating and posting yourself and making content.
But I think you have to be mindful of what type of content, right? So let's say I want to do movies, but right now maybe I can only get weddings. And if I start publishing on my IG or whatever, wedding videos, I'm probably going to get approached by brides like, hey, I want a wedding video, not necessarily movies, right? So I think it's pretty mindful of somebody to say, I want to do movies, somehow start creating content around movies so people can start to correlate you and put you in that space. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. And a lot of people don't know I'm a singer-songwriter because I don't have a lot of music videos on my page, which I'm trying to record some covers and post them because a lot of my posts are kind of targeted towards film.
Yeah.
So it's just like, because your social media, it's your public profile. It's what people see you're doing. And it's just being very mindful of what you post.
Yeah, definitely. You're creating your personal brand, and also you're creating your future, right? Like, what is it that you want to do? So like you said yourself, I want to start doing more music-related stuff. So doing covers and stuff like that. People are going to start to notice that. And they're going to be like, okay, hey, she does music. If a role or something pops up, they're going to know that because of your post, right? Yeah, I think a lot of people, they don't think about that. They're just like, why am I getting hit up for weddings all the time? I want to do movies. And then you go to social media and it's like, well, all I see is wedding content, right? So,
And also, don't be afraid to post.
true.
Do not.
Yeah.
You miss out on a lot of opportunities like that.
I'm guilty of that. Like oftentimes like stories, no problem. Like I'll put stories out there, but it's almost like your actual grid. And I notice this trend too with other people. It's like super hard. Like what's grid worthy? What am I going to post that's going to live out there? Do you struggle with that or no?
Yes. It's like, what do I want people to know about me? And stories are definitely a lot more easy for me.
Yeah.
Because it's just like organizing the post and typing out your hashtags and
you know that it's temporary, right? So it doesn't
Yes.
have to be perfect. And you're just like, hey, I'm going to put this that I'm currently in the moment doing. You don't think twice. But then when you're an actual post, a lot of people struggle with that. Like even like if they're just like with friends or whatever, it's almost like they want it to be perfect for every post. And it's just not possible.
It's not. No.
What type of artist would you want to be? What type of music do you want to do?
So my genre is alternative/indie pop.
Okay.
And I've been doing covers of Lana and Suki. And then I really like the song Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. I feel like that works with my voice. And then just some guitar solos too. And then like tablature too.
Have you been taking vocal lessons or has this all just been you
Yes.
practicing? You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Online. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What is that like? Do you think that anybody can sing? Like there's two schools of thoughts, right? Like I often hear people like you have to be born with it, you have to be natural. And other people seem to think that everybody can sing. You just have to like teach yourself and take lessons on how to sing. What do you think?
I definitely think if you have a voice, you're capable of singing.
Yeah?
It's just putting yourself to the page and taking those singing lessons. Even if you're unsure of yourself, just try and you'll be surprised.
Did you just naturally start singing or you're like curious and you're like, okay, I'm going to start taking some lessons?
So definitely when I was younger, I would just sing whenever I could. Then whenever I was older, I really needed to strengthen my voice. So I started taking vocal lessons. And that's just it's the best thing that I could have done.
Okay.
So, because you just have to be ready for whenever you're going to start gigging and playing shows. And you just have to have that vocal power.
Yeah, definitely. What's been the reception so far? You put out some videos, I'm assuming. What have been the comments? Have been positive or what's been the reception?
Okay, so it's all been positive. And I just think I have to get out of my head because I always assume the worst. Like,
Oh, really?
people are going to, like, comment on my voice or something, or like my guitar skills.
Yeah.
But they actually never do, and then it's just like this weird thing in your head that is.
You've been lucky because there's a lot of internet trolls.
Yes.
So you haven't experienced any internet trolls? Or?
No, I haven't. And also, I haven't been putting out that much music, which I need to. I'm just a little scared of that button of posting it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's what people struggle the most. And like I said, it's I call it the cringe mountain. I don't know if you have a better name for it, but it's like once you get over, if you get over that cringe mountain, and it's just like at that point you don't care, and you're just like, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to put out the content because this is what I want people to know about me. This is what I care about, and just start putting it out there and see what happens.
I think it's accomplishing something that I didn't think I could do.
Wins and what you've enjoyed the most, right? Has it been movie related? Has it been directing, writing, music? What's been like one of the wins that you're proud of?
Probably film related. Just writing a script and then it actually going into production and then being able to try something new like directing and producing.
Yeah.
That was incredible for me. And it's just very magical, you know, like accomplishing something that you didn't think you could do or was possible.
Yeah.
And then also with music, just finishing a song, writing a song, finishing it, and figuring out the chord and its patterns and song structure.
You envision this movie, I'm going to film it this way. This is how I envision it in my mind. But you get on set and there's unexpected obstacles, right? Whether that be lighting, whether it be the location, people running late. What has been your experience with that?
You just always have to be able to adapt to new settings. And if the lighting doesn't look a certain way, talk to your department head. And
are you a perfectionist though? Like, do you struggle with that or not?
I definitely am a perfectionist whenever it comes to the script and trying to write the characters a certain way and then telling the story a certain way. I'm definitely a perfectionist in that way. And also getting onto set, I think as an actor, I'm definitely a perfectionist. Like, I have to learn my lines full through. I cannot improv. But sometimes the improvisation makes it better in the scene.
Yeah, I often hear where like some of my favorite scenes were improvised by the actors, like especially with comedy, that they improvise a lot. Where it's like we didn't even have that in the script; it just happened. And it's like one of the best like parts of the movie. All of a sudden, if something goes wrong, it's like okay, let's adjust really quickly and let's keep the show on the road. Right?
Definitely being on set, you have to have that fast thinking skills for a problem.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I always ask my guests if I pull up your playlist, who am I going to find on your playlist? So what are you listening to right now?
Definitely some Billie Eilish, her new album, Hit Me Hard and Soft.
So good, right?
So good, yes.
What's your favorite track on there?
Ooh, I think I really like the vibes of Chihiro and then L'Amour di Ma Vie.
Okay.
I don't know French. Sorry. Totally butchered that. I think those two are probably my favorite. Then Birds of a Feather, you can never go wrong with that one, too.
I like that song, but I don't like the title. Like, I think the hook or something, like, because it's, like, real romantic, and it's, like, Birds of a Feather. Like, I don't know. I think there could have been, like, another connection or something. I don't know.
I mean, she says it all the time in the song, you know, Birds of a Feather, so I think it's fitting for the title. I like it.
Yeah.
But
lyrically and, like, sound-wise, it sounds amazing for sure.
Of course, Lana Del Rey. I really love her album Ultraviolence. And then I love, did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? Her newest one.
Yeah.
Favorite. So yeah. It's amazing. And then, you know, CQ Waterhouse. And then I really like her album Memoir of a Sparkle Muffin. Thought she really did her songs really well. My favorite song from her is Model Actress Whatever. I mean, well, you know, it's fitting, but truly, I love her lyrics in there too.
Yeah.
And then also, like I said, Arctic Monkeys. And then I've been listening to Tyler, the Creator, too, recently, which I wasn't really ever... I mean, I've never, like, really heard his songs, but I've definitely been more into him now.
Super creative. His new album, I really enjoyed it. It's really good.
It's really good, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to think of all the other people too.
Yeah. What about something unexpected that people were like, really? She listens to that? Like, do you have anything that's unexpected?
I think Korn.
Korn?
I listened to Korn, yeah.
How the heck did you get into Korn?
It's just one of those things where you see, like, you're watching a video on social media and then there'll be a song in the background and you'll be like, oh, I kind of like that.
Okay.
And then you search them up and then you just, like, go into their world. And then I also love Deftones.
Okay.
Yes, love.
That's cool.
Those are mainly the people. I have 1,000 other people, but they're not coming to mind right now.
Yeah.
It's just, my playlist is very mixed, but it's mainly alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What about series? Are there any like movie series that you're watching right now?
So I recently finished Daisy Jones and the Six.
Okay.
Amazing. From the costumes to the script and the songs. It was really great. And then Only Murders in the Building. It's so hilarious.
You like it? Yeah.
Yes, I love Selena Gomez. I love Martin Short.
Mm-hmm.
Love everyone that's in the cast. And then Meryl Streep is also on it.
Yeah.
Wow. Then I also like The Bear. I recently started that. I think I'm on season 2.
We were talking about how movie series and series just in general now have the budgets of like a big film, right? And I kind of think that series are kind of like the new independent film. That's what I was telling him. I was like, it's almost like it's hard to get an independent film budget, but it's almost like you can get a budget for a series. I don't know what you think about that.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's very,
Have you thought about doing any series or anything like that?
I definitely think short films are what I'm starting out with first, and then maybe eventually a movie, hopefully.
Okay.
And then series 2, I think that would be after a movie for me.
Yeah.
I feel like series are a little more difficult.
It's probably more challenging because you have to tell like a story that just is ongoing and connect everything, right?
Yeah. Definitely have to be working on that for a couple of years.
Yeah, definitely.
Like new episodes.
If we think about doing a short film, a movie, when you're independent, there might be a lot of setbacks, right? So maybe walk me through an example of where you had this idea, this dream. There were setbacks, but you still went through it and it paid off.
I definitely think being behind schedule is a big thing, but the shot, the angle, it takes a little longer to get set up, but I feel like just hang in there, please. Like, we can always make up a day. I mean, time is money, but it's also like, this is going to make my film really good.
True.
I have to do this.
Yeah, that's super important because sometimes you're like, I only got X amount of budget. And then it's like, okay, like we got one shot, like let's just run with it. But to your point, if you have this idea, you're like, okay, let's spend a little bit more time and get it right.
And then it's also like, I like to do a lot of things. So it's also like I can accomplish that too by myself and just the actor too. Like even if it's just me and the actor getting that shot done in camera angle, I feel like if you have people who are willing to stay over, that's just the best thing.
What's been your experience with funding? Have you like tried to get like a budget for movies? Like how difficult is that?
It's very difficult. I've been very fortunate, but it's just like finding ways to raise money. Maybe setting up a GoFundMe or, getting a job or two.
Yeah,
it's just like. It's going to take time for that, but also once you have the money, it's going to be so amazing. You'll be like, this is what I've been saving up for.
So you mentioned that you network with Victor, and he was like a perfect person to network, right? So what's been some of the things that have came out of knowing Victor and the importance of networking because you took that shot?
So I'm currently producing on his film, Until We Weren't.
Okay.
He's the writer-director. So it's been really eye-opening just to be under his wing.
That's awesome. When is that coming out? Is it in the works right now currently?
It's in the works right now.
Okay.
So can't say too much about it, but.
So that's a great example of like, hey, you took this risk and now like you're working with the
now
poster,
here I am.
right? Goals for yourself for next year. What do you want to do, next year?
I definitely want to have. So I've had 2 movies that I've put into production of my own. So I'm hoping to have 3 movies next year.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 short films. Hoping to
That sounds ambitious to me. I don't
It
know.
does.
But
I know.
That sounds like a lot of movies.
I really like to top myself on things I've done, like with 2 short films this year. I want to have 3 next year. I'm trying to shoot for that, but also if I just have 1, then that's okay too.
Yeah.
Like always, there's room for more, and there's
Are we putting any music on the vision
Yes.
board, or what's the goal for music?
yes, music. I want to be recording in the studio
Okay.
next year. Yeah,
So you're going to do
by
like
next year.
a full album, or maybe just an EP or a few singles? What do you want to do?
Probably a few singles
Okay.
to start off with. Don't want to get too ahead of myself,
Yeah.
but an album is definitely the end goal.
Okay. And you want to do that just you, acoustic guitar, or you think you're going to want to do it with the band and a full performance?
I definitely want to. I think for now, I think just me and the guitar,
Okay.
but I definitely do see a band in my future.
Yeah. What is your advice for viewers out there? They want to get into film. They want to do some movies, some acting. What would be your advice? What approach should they take?
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there because you're the person holding yourself back.
Mhm.
And don't take a no so seriously. Just keep on trying and believe in yourself. And from an acting standpoint too, if someone else gets a project or a role that you really wanted, don't be upset because it's their time. It's not your time yet,
That's a
and your
great way
time
to
will
look at it.
come.
Yeah.
But it's just like, be happy for other people too,
Mhm.
even if you wanted what they got, because your time's coming.
That's super important because auditioning, more often than not, it's probably going to be no,
Mhm.
right? Because it's like super competitive. You have to be the right fit for the right role.
Yes.
So how do you approach that to where it's like you don't take it personal? It's like, okay, it's just an audition, like you said.
Mhm.
It's not the right time. It's not the right fit.
It's like, it's just, I really think timing's a big thing, and don't take it so seriously because don't automatically assume that they didn't like you because of this. It could be that maybe you didn't look like the mother that they had casted too. It could be little things like that. And then just to like never stop auditioning too, because if you keep auditioning, then you're eventually going to get your big break.
Yeah.
And just keep trying.
I love that. With the acting, does that mean a lot of traveling as well? Do you have to go to different places to audition and to record, or what?
Definitely. But I've been doing local work here, but I've also been auditioning for LA things and
Okay.
Canada. Got my
Wow.
passport. Hopefully
awesome.
I'm good to go sometime.
Yeah, congrats. How do you balance everything? You're doing so much. How do you balance everything?
So I'm homeschooled, so that helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me a lot more time to think about what I want to do and put it into motion. It's just like having a day-to-day schedule.
Yeah.
Like I'll write for X amount of time, I'll sing for X amount of time, and then I'll work on a script X amount of time. And then it's just always like that cycle of a schedule and just adhering to the schedule and
Yeah.
keep doing it. Consistency is key.
Consistency. I'm always like hearing where people either believe that you have to focus on one thing and you can't do multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
But I love doing multiple
Me
things.
too.
So I don't know. What do you think about that?
I feel like I'll get bored of just one thing if I just
Right?
keep continuing to do that thing only.
And I feel like it almost like scratches a different itch of creativity, right? Like with you, I'm sure, being in front of the camera is different than being behind. And then music, right? That's like a whole different thing. So it's almost like different outlets, right? And to me, it would be hard to give out. Like if I had to do just one thing, it would be hard.
Then also some days I'm just not feeling, let's say, a film.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I don't want to write for film. I just only want to write for music and get some lyrics out there. So then I'll just kind of spend my day doing that. And I think just doing both is the best of both worlds.
Do you think that you can accomplish
It's
multiple
definitely,
things?
you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely see like, I don't know, like Jamie Foxx or somebody comes to mind where it's like they're doing music, they're doing acting, they're doing comedy. So you definitely see it out there, but often people are like, no, you got to do like one thing and focus on that. I don't know.
I don't believe in just doing one thing, but if
Yeah.
you just have one thing that you're really just super passionate about, good for you.
Yeah.
Just for me, I'm passionate about a lot of different things, and I like to spend my time different ways.
I want to thank you for your time. Definitely, I really enjoyed the conversation. But for the people out there, what's the best place to find you on social media, website? Where can people find you?
So my Instagram is McKinley Paige _official, and definitely hit me up, and we'll get to talking.
Awesome. Very cool. I want to thank you for your time. I know you're super
Thank you
busy,
so much.
wishing you continued success. I can't wait to hear the music. Can't wait to hear all these projects. I know a lot of the movies, stuff like that. You're not allowed to talk about it just yet, but looking forward to that.
Thank you so much. Very grateful.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the super talented McKinley Paige Montez on the Maverick Podcast. In dreams, we trust.